Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 very important tips that I think will help you guys get your very first phone flip. So with that said, let's get into today's video. So it's currently 2:11 right now, and I actually hit 300 subs, so definitely appreciate that from you guys. I told you I'm going to be releasing a live meetup, so I've actually already filmed it, a meetup with somebody where I went out and bought an iPhone, and I filmed the whole thing from beginning to end. Showed you guys exactly what I'm looking for, showed you how I negotiated, everything you guys would need to know about phone flipping in a live situation. So I'm going to be releasing that sometime this week, but also because of 300 subs, I actually today am releasing a phone flipping startup pack. So it's the first link down below. If you want to grab it, it's $29.95, and it's basically I have 15 plus actual phone pictures. These pictures are actually things that I use every single day in all my ads, and I wouldn't give you pictures that I haven't found successful. So these are the top 15 plus pictures that I use in all my ads, as well as the bill of sale, which will help protect you legally and financially from getting scammed, which is the most important thing to have in this business, because it will protect you like no tomorrow. And finally, you're going to get a 30-minute call with me one-on-one. I'm going to be giving you my full attention. So if you're international, obviously we can set up like a Skype call or something like that, but I give you instructions. Once you purchase the pack, basically you're going to just contact me and we'll figure out a time. You can ask me anything you want, whether it's personally about phone flipping. If you just want to be my friend and want to talk, that's cool too. Doesn't really matter, but you're going to get my full 100% attention. And this is basically for those of you who just are starting to phone flip, maybe have flipped a few phones and just have a bunch of questions for me. So again, if you want to get that, it is that first link down below. I'd really appreciate the support, and I'm going to be giving back to you guys obviously with that 30-minute call. So the first tip that I have for you guys, if you haven't flipped a phone before or just really starting to get into it, is you want to put ads out, because that's the most important thing in this industry. Is you want to put ads out for people to come to you. Yes, you can go out there and look for phones, but the first thing I recommend is going and putting out an ad. And again, I have those pictures in that phone flipping startup pack, so I'd go put an ad up on Craigslist, put 2 or 3 of them, and obviously you want to have different pictures for each, so you look like a different actual buyer of the phones. And I have videos you guys can check out about how I list effective ads and stuff like that. But also you want to list on OfferUp. So have those 2 platforms. It's a total of about 5-6 ads you're going to put up the first time, and I guarantee you'll probably have 20 to 50 people come to you just with that phone, like just with those ads alone in a single day. But also with that said, if you're beginning, what I also recommend is go put out those ads, but then go scroll and keep refreshing like the pages on OfferUp, Letgo, and Facebook Marketplace. I still do this today when I get kind of bored and people aren't just contacting me. I'll go out and actually bid on some phones. So if you're beginning, that is a great way to go find your first phone. If you want to get one literally today or start as soon as possible, because once you start doing this, you're going to grow that money exponentially to thousands of dollars. I can almost guarantee it. I've done it myself, and so have many of you who can claim they have done the same thing in this group if you guys look through the comment sections. But definitely go put out ads and go out and look for some phones. Typically the people that will come to you for ads will be like older phones, so that's a great first flip, especially if they're like iPhone 6s, iPhone 6 Pluses, iPhone 6s Plus, iPhone 7s. Those typically go anywhere between like 50 and 200 bucks. So obviously that is my second tip. Go find a cheap phone. If you're in the beginning and you don't really, if you've flipped a couple phones, yeah, it still can apply to you. But if you really truly haven't flipped a phone yet, don't start with like an iPhone like 8X, stuff like that, because you're going to have to put down a decent amount of money. And yeah, there really isn't more risk doing that than like a cheaper phone. The only reason I say that is because I was at the same position you guys were like 7-8 months ago, where I was scared to do it. And obviously you're putting up money, but with that said, you really just have to go for it. But with iPhone 6s, you can still make $100 off of 50 bucks from buying an iPhone 6, or you can make $100 off of buying an iPhone like 7 Plus for 300. It doesn't really matter, but it is like once you get more capital, you can go out and buy those newer phones. But I'd always recommend starting with iPhone 6s. I have that video how to turn like 60 bucks into 10,000. That is basically like my blueprint for how I go and like recommend actually going and selling your first phone, but definitely try the like older generation phones. I typically don't do 5 or anything older than that. Typically try to find an iPhone 6 for like anywhere between like 50 to 100 bucks, go flip for 180, and then you can start growing that exponentially. And more money you get, you can start buying newer phones, and therefore it's just going to grow from there. So the third point that I have for getting your first sale is when you're going to be meeting up with somebody, meet at a carrier store, because that will allow you to either go 100% successful with the phone flip as long as you get that bill of sale as well, or they're going to tell you not to buy the phone because there might be an account balance on it, it's blocked by the system. There's a couple things that can go wrong with the phone. So if you are new, meet at a carrier store. I guarantee this will help you get your first sale, especially if you go and like meet at McDonald's when this is your first phone flip. And yeah, I give you like buyer checklists. If you haven't seen that video as well, it's called the iPhone buyer checklist. You should go through those steps, but that's more intermediate to advanced, simply because you want to get comfortable with it. Have people at the carrier store will most likely know more than you, so go to the carrier store, have them check it and everything, and then like you can check the phone, making sure like the camera's good, no cracks or anything on it, like literally more physical things you can check, but they can check that all that back end stuff, and therefore you can be a lot more secure, again, as long as you get that bill of sale. So now you obviously went and got your phone. So you have the phone in your hand and you're asking, what do I do with it? The one tip that I have for you to have like a successful flip, in my opinion, is go resell it locally. If you go and list on eBay, yes, you can, but again, if you're not willing to put up a lot more money than that, you're gonna have to wait for eBay to get that money into your PayPal, and that can take up to 21 days. It usually, in the beginning, it should take you about 14 to like 15 days to actually get the money, but it's basically 3 days after delivery. You can reduce your time by putting things like 1 day handling time. And there's a couple things I talk about in different videos, but I recommend going and reselling locally. If you're buying it at a low enough price, you should be selling it at market value. I always price my phones when I'm appraising them based on what it's going for on the market value. If I know, yes, I always say like go appraise phones on eBay just to see what the price is, but that's more of like a tactic if you're gonna go resell on eBay. But if you wanna resell locally, go look at what those phones are selling for. Look at actually phones that are selling at a certain price. Let's say you have an iPhone 6 Plus. If they're averaging going for like 300 bucks, between like 250 and 350, I would appraise the phone at being like $300. Therefore, if I want to make 100 profit, I try to buy locally 200, and that's not difficult at all. It's pretty easy. There's a lot of those old phones out there because obviously people have had them for longer, and you're gonna get a better profit out of it. So definitely take into consideration those 4 tips, and with all that stuff, like you need the pictures, you need the bill of sale. So if you want those things, it is in the first link down below. You have to think about it, 30 bucks for the actual like starter kit. One, you get to ask me as many questions you want for 30 minutes. That's you're not going to get that anywhere else, like even on the Facebook group and commenting. It takes me a while to answer those, and you obviously don't want to spam them. And 2, 30 bucks is not a lot of money. You should be making about $100 every single flip. So this is an investment for the future. You have to invest in yourself, and like you have to think about it. You want effective pictures, you want a bill of sale to protect you, and I've gotten all these from over time, and they're definitely, I have A/B tested them, and I'm only giving you guys like the pictures and the bill of sale that have worked for me. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Hit that little subscription button down below to join the family. We hit 300, now we're on the road to 500 will be my next goal. Hopefully by the time like let's say June-ish time, I'd like to get to 500. Let's get a bit more aggressive growth. So again, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it some support. So with that said, have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.